Welcome everybody to another episode of Community Voices. Hope everybody's doing well, feeling great today. Man, I'm excited. We're continuing to celebrate Women's History Month, which is exciting because I know it is Women's History Month, but I also know that we gotta celebrate, uplift, and support women year round. But it is always beautiful and nice to just acknowledge
Yes.
that throughout the month and really highlight it this month. And so I'm super excited for this episode. I love the fact that CV we're getting that we're trying to have our platform tap more into the WNBA, and just really, I'm just excited. I don't want to keep messing up my words here. I'm just very excited for this. Today, we are joined by Husky alumni, first round draft pick, Washington Mystics forward, Aaliyah Edwards. How you doing?
I'm good. How are you? Thank you for having me.
Absolutely, I'm doing good. I'm doing good. Um, I want to actually, before I get into the question, I want to ask one thing. 'Cause I didn't know if you're going to have it on today, but I see you do. I heard that the braid color is the like for the Lakers, the Mamba mentality tapping in. Can you kind of like fill me in on that? I think that's super cool, and you've been doing it for a while. So I would love to just know more
Yes.
about that.
Yes. So yeah, my signature braids are kind of like a trademark at this point, and I've been doing it since the eighth grade. It started a bit kind of scary. I had one braid mixed purple and yellow and didn't look too good, but I was scared to do the full head. But then I committed to it and I did it. And the reason behind it is for my love for Kobe Bryant. He was my idol growing up, and also me and my brother, older brother, we shared a great bond together with Kobe, and kind of having that Mamba mentality is like my foundation of just my work ethic, my mental strength, and just how I operate day to day, whether that's on the court or off the court. And my hair and colors just kind of embody that. So, yeah, I've been rocking them for a while.
I love it. I love it. I love when we can incorporate them signatures. I love it. That's super dope.
Mhm.
You mentioned Mamba mentality and being inspired by Kobe, which I know is going to be an ongoing thing because his work and his impact lives forever. But with it being Women's History Month too, I would love to know who are some of the women in your life who, whether it be past, present, who kind of inspired you to work the way you do. Because I think right now, I mentioned it earlier, the beauty of the WNBA. I think we're in a time where the WNBA is literally rewriting history for like what
Yes.
like the woman athlete does and how she performs and how she gets compensated, and that continuous fight. And everybody's having like a say so and using the platform to continue voicing it and speaking towards it. So I say all that to say, who are some women in history who have inspired you, whether they be athletes or non-athletes, just activism in general, but who will be some people who inspire you?
I think first and foremost, I gotta give my props to Mama J, my mom. She has been my trailblazer since I was little growing up, and each and every day she continues to inspire me. I think the beauty with her being such an independent woman, but a strong independent woman, especially, she is family first, always community oriented with everything she does on a day to day basis, but ultimately just trying to walk the footsteps ahead of me so that I can follow and walk my own. So I gotta give props to her. She's someone I idolize. Obviously, I'm biased. I think some other some other women that I would say is definitely Candace Parker. As I said, alongside Kobe, she was a big role model for me growing up, and especially being an international athlete. You know, in Canada, we didn't really have access to the WNBA on broadcast or NCAA, women's NCAA. So, following Kobe in LA, and then also Candace, what she did in her rookie year, balled out, all the way to what she's doing after basketball while she's retired with Adidas and being the president. And I'm actually a part of that sisterhood. It's just so amazing. It's a full circle moment. I actually just met her, I want to say like a month ago, because we did a commercial for International Women's Day not too long ago, and that was the first time I met her. But before then, we've been chatting this whole past my past rookie season, so that was a great moment for me. I was very starstruck, but yeah, I would say for sure my mom and Candace. I also just met Coco Golf as well. I feel like
Go.
She is someone who, especially towards the next gen, who's coming up and showing out. You can definitely feel the youthfulness when you talk to her, but how she handles herself on that court, man, it's very vet like, very professional. So yeah, I got a liking to her as well.
I love that because I think you kind of segue into my next question perfectly. You just mentioned people who inspire you, and each of those people that you just mentioned are dogs in their sport. They go at it. They're a student of the game, and when they compete, they really do put some fear in the people that are across from them. Coco, Candace, we all know Kobe did it. And your mom, I want to speak to your mom now. I think it's really cool how your family earlier on exposed you to basketball and kind of let you explore it as a child, and then it grew into something that became a source of joy for you. You were happy with doing it. It was something that you want to pursue more because it wasn't just like about a career piece at that time. It was just like the happiness and joy you got from it. And I think about how we have a joy in those things, but when you get to the levels that you're in, competing with the most elite of the elite, whether it be globally or in the WNBA, there's a level of competition, of competitiveness, of skill that you have to continuously sharpen and pay attention to.
Yes.
Even I mean, and I say all that, say even in the Unrivaled League, the 1v1, like
Hmm.
another a whole another beast, but just shows
Let's get into that. Let's get into that.
man, listen, craziness. Like I would love to just know, like, no matter what you're competing at, how do you continue sharpening that? How do you continue to like know where your feet are, know where you can be, and then make that connection continuously?
I think you said it beautifully. Hold on, we'll redo that. I think you said it very well. In terms of my family, they are my why, and they are the reason why I picked up basketball. They're the reason why I have this drive and this passion for the love of the sport. And also, they're the reason why I continue to push those boundaries for those coming behind me. And I always resort back to them because they're the ones who ground me. I think that whenever we go through our highs and lows within the sport, especially as women, kind of trying to find our way and navigating through this next era of women's basketball. I think that I go back to those times where I'm in the backyard or I go walk down the a couple blocks to the park and go pick up a ball and it may be double rims and I don't like it, but I'm still shooting on that net and I just like this is why I'm doing this. This is why I still love the game and why I'm still in it. So no matter what level I'm at, whether that's on the Olympic stage or um, in the W or add-on rivaled or even during the one-on-one, I'm like it goes back to the fundamentals and the joy for the sport.
What did the 1v1 teach you about yourself that you can now take into your game, into this next part of your game? I would love to know that.
Man. Oh my gosh. I going into the 1v1 actually I wasn't sure how it was gonna play out because I've
Of
never
course,
really
yeah.
played one on one like in front of an audience. It was more just like bragging rights or just after a practice you're just like, hey, come let's play once. So it was really interesting going into it, but while in it, I'm like, I think I just bloomed and just grew from not only the opportunity to just display my skills, but also the confidence that I have now that, I compete against elite players. And mind you, all four people that I played against are like elite scorers too. So
Right.
my mindset going into it, I was like, I need to get my buckets early and be efficient. Because if I don't, they're gonna catch right back up to me. So it was a really cool concept. I love the one-on-one. Obviously, you gotta give my props to Fee. She is also the co-owner, so or the co-founder. So I'm not too, I'm gonna take the L on the chest. But I did tell her that we're gonna run it back. So,
There we go. There we
but
go.
yeah, yeah.
I love that. And I think, if anything, the 1v1 just I said just showed how serious you take the game and how good you actually are. Like being I think it's an understatement to just see like playing 1v1 with the differencing in positions and the differencing of the roles when they're actually like on
Yeah.
your team that's a big statement. I think it really just showed how much of a competitor you really are, and how much you can, no matter what position, size, height, skill, you're here and you mean business. And I
I wanted
think
all the smoke, baby.
all the smoke, exactly.
All the
And I
smoke, all
honestly
the
think
smoke.
it's those things that I think made Adidas like see your game, see your talent, and say, hey, like we have to bring you on that roster because they see it. Um, and that's a big thing. Like it's not these deals like that and being on a roster. They don't come with lackluster effort or trials and tribulations or skill. They come with like real grind, sweat, blood,
Receipts.
tears. Exactly.
Yeah.
So, what is it like to be an Adidas athlete? How does it feel to have that accomplishment? And like, how does that new kind of that new kind, I don't want to say a chip on your shoulder weight, but being an Adidas athlete, how does that play to how you actually have an impact on the court? 'Cause I know it has to be like an extra thing. I mean, I got to show up not just for my team, but
Hmm.
I'm on this roster with Candace and them. Like, I got to show up.
Yeah, exactly. I think how I feel and interpret it is just a truly a blessing. I think first and foremost, being a part of this roster, this sisterhood of athletes who um, I don't only compete alongside but compete against, and uh, it's just crazy to really think about it. I think that Adidas is a great brand that helps. Connect the athlete to the person, and that's really one of the things that I loved about this brand. And I think that we share similar values, and especially having Candace as the president now. She wasn't the president before when I first joined on, but to have her as the president now, it's just an extra perk because you're getting an athlete who's been through what I'm going through right now, understands the business side of things, understands the quality of product, understands the importance of outreach, community outreach, and just capitalizing off of that. So yeah, I'm blessed to be a part of this roster. When I first got into the league last summer, um, sorry, before then, when I first signed on to the brand, I got a video of like pretty much all the Adidas athletes saying, "Congrats, Aaliyah, welcome to the family." So that was super cool. But once I
That's
actually got
hard.
into the league, everyone came up to me, showing me love, showing me props before I even really got to build a relationship with these women, and it just made me feel like, yeah, I'm home. I got a family. I got people. I got sisters who got my back, and yeah, I have no complaints. Love it over here, pretty
I love
much.
that. I
Yeah.
love that. As we get into the donation segment of our conversation, we'll be donating, partnering with Adidas to donate directly to Simon Elementary School. Like I said, these donations in these moments are super impactful. We don't know how this is affecting these kids' lives. These are moments that can change their lives, can change their day, can change their whole perspective. And you were able to visit them recently and have like a really direct face-to-face impact and just connect with them. So what was it like meeting them and kind of talking with them and getting to know them in the school and the system and things like that in DC?
Oh my goodness. I love each and every one of them, from the students all the way to the faculty. Simon Elementary School is located in Southeast DC, fairly close to where the Washington Mystics play. So to tap into a community that's so close to where I train each and every day meant a lot to me. Miss Eborn, Principal Eborn, she does a great job of just interacting with the kids in a way that they don't have to worry about, what's going on at home, what's kind of the situation of the school in terms of financially, but they're just there to learn. They're excited to learn, and they're there to build relationships with their students and have a great time. So I actually got to visit them when they kind of have like a pep rally on Fridays. Listen, I ain't never had a pep rally like this. The kids were dancing. There was a whole stage. They even played the little Gracie Corner sing along. So it was a lot. It was fun. It was a vibe. I actually gave them one of my jerseys, a signed Mystics jersey. So they were all over the moon. I definitely want to tap into them for the season to come watch a game. But ultimately, I'm just so grateful to Adidas for helping me do this. And with the donation, I think that um, it's going to mean a lot to them. What they told me was they want to put the money towards a media center for the kids, for a STEAM program, which is like a science technology program to help the kids learn and educate themselves about like coding and just how to operate on an iPad or a laptop. And mind you, this school doesn't have any access to technology, which is kind of sad
Mm.
because the way that the world's going, we're very tech savvy over here. So to give these kids an opportunity to just, be a kid and not really worry about, can I have that? Can I afford to have that? It means a lot to me. But yeah, I'm just so super grateful. And I think that, um, as I was saying, going back to how blessed I feel about the position I am as being a role model and representation is a big thing for me. With Unrivaled and me going on my little run for 101, I know it was super good towards me and my skill development and kind of showcasing that to the whole world, but also those earnings that I won, I can really invest in giving back to the community, not only here in DC but back home in Canada as well. So I think it just all plays into playing for someone bigger than yourself. I know that we have our last names on the back of our jersey, which is great. I can represent my family, but also ultimately I'm playing for Mystics. I'm playing for the W, playing for Unrivaled, playing for Canada, representing something that's way bigger and beyond me that I can leave a little footprint in it so someone else can capitalize off of it.
I love that. I love that. You know, I'm gonna ask you two more questions before we wrap
Mm-hmm.
things up. I want to also respect your time. I know you're busy too. I'm gonna ask a funner question to close everything out. But I want to ask this question
Okay.
to kind of wrap up the more career focused things. Say we fast forward 20 years. I know it's a lot of time.
Oof.
A lot 20. I
Oof.
don't,
What
in a
we
good way.
doing?
In a good way. What I would just love to know, with the things you've accomplished, the connections that you built, the people that you now have around you, have a beautiful community that you feed into and that feeds back into you. What is the history that you would like to make on and off the court?
Wow. Um, Such a great question. It's also so hard to look so forward. Um,
We can do 5 or 10. We can do 5 or 10 if we want to scale it back.
okay. Let me think. I think the type of player I am, type of person I am, I'm one that's just like a go getter. I'm gonna do the little things to be successful. I'm a big team player, and I think one thing that I would want to leave behind or want people to speak highly on me of is a competitor, but ultimately just a solid person, a solid player, and a solid teammate. I think those are two things that even when I was a little girl, just didn't even know how to dribble or how to do a crossover. I just made sure that I was very humble and but also making sure I get my work in. Uh, so I don't know. It's a tough question. Right now, what kind of is my motto is if how can I word this? How can I word this? Um, if they don't want you to be great, be great. And that's
Mm.
kind of my motto right now because I feel like with our sport, there's a lot of haters. There's a lot of people who are going to tear you down. There's also going to be way more people who uplift you. But you got to focus on those who uplift you to do good things. And I think with my motto, it's like you're always going to get that one heckler. There's always that one person in the stands when you're shooting that free throw or, that's going to talk down on you. But you got to be like, you just got to go out there and prove them wrong. So I kind of want that to embody that of just showing people up and proving people wrong.
I love that. I love that. That answered the question perfectly. Sometimes what you do now and continuously do is how you make the history, not
Yeah.
necessarily having like a vision on what is the markers. I love that. I love that. Um, Now to the fun part to close out our conversation, right?
Okay. Hit me.
Sports and music go hand in hand, right? I think we
Hmm.
all have like playlists we listen to before we work or before we hit the court or on the court. But I want to ask, what is one song that would represent like your
Uh,
style of play? What song represents your style of play, and then why?
man, there's so many to choose from. And like my game day playlists are all over the place too, in terms of genre and stuff like that. So if I had to pick one right now, I'd probably say "Feeling Myself," Nicki and Beyonce, because that's the song
Mm.
I chose for my intro for the one on ones, and I feel like I just gotta hop on that wave and keep riding it. So that's kind of just feeling myself. You gotta be confident in yourself. You gotta be organic and not try to be anyone else. There's only one of you, so be the best you that you can be. That would be my song.
I don't even have to say anything after that because your
Ah, no,
song
no, no, no,
choice, not your song choice, and then what you said about "There's Only One You" is the perfect way to wrap this up. So
Thank you.
thank you very, very
Wait,
much.
I
I
do have a
appreciate
question
you.
for you though. I have a question.
Absolutely.
What song would you pick?
For like when I get on the court, when I get on
Yeah,
the court.
yeah, I'm interested to hear. Like, if you're about to do
Hmm.
some one on one, like, what's your intro? Like your walkout song? Like, this is me. This is who you're about to match up with.
I'm not gonna lie. I think it's that Kendrick Lamar "Wiped Out Murals." Like
Okay, yeah,
the way that song starts and what he's saying is just like it makes you feel like your back is against the wall and like the lights just shut off.
yeah,
And
yeah.
it's like whenever you really gotta like show up and like prove yourself or you got something to really like go get, it's like
Yeah.
you gotta get into that. You know how when there's like you see people and they zone out, and when you see them zone out, like you see like the all everything turns black and it's just that one thing. That's what that
Yeah.
song does. It's just like yo, like it's time. That's
Yeah.
the exact song too.
I love that. I love that. You know what it actually reminds me of? There's a commercial, like a Kobe commercial that I used to
Mhm.
love watching, and it was that same type of tone where like he's on the court, but then the lights turn off, and then it's like certain fans are like telling him
Yeah,
that, that, yeah, that's
I
that's
remember
what
that
that
one.
reminds me of. So that would be a great song to that for sure, for sure.
Absolutely.
Sure.
Um,
We
man.
gotta
So now
run
I want
one
to.
time.
I know. I really
We
do.
gotta run one time.
Let's do it.
No
I'm
audience
down.
though. No audience.
No, no, we got to do it on
Yeah.
stream. We got to do it the Twitch stream.
Oh, you do Twitch? Okay,
Listen, we can make it happen. We can
okay,
make it
okay.
happen. But I appreciate you very, very much for jumping in this episode and giving out time, and just also like, just like what you're doing. I think the work that you're doing can't be understated. Whether it's the WNBA, whether it's Unrivaled, whether it's giving back to the community, to be doing what you're doing at such a young age, to be doing what you're doing with the amount of success that you're having now is impactful. You do it with grace, you do it with style, and you do it with confidence. So I just appreciate you for what you do.
Oh, thank you so much. And I love this whole campaign. I think that it may seem something small, but in the long run, it's gonna mean a lot to a lot of different little girls who are just trying to make it big in this world. So I do appreciate you and everything that you're doing with this as well.
Absolutely, absolutely. And thank you everybody for tuning in to another episode of Community Voices. Until next time, take care.